Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I am Jordan Harmon, co-founder and president of Angel Studios. We have with us David Helling, our dear friend and director of His Only Son, writer-director of His Only Son. We are so excited, guys, to have you here on this live stream. This live stream is going to be so important because we have big announcements. So you have to stay tuned. If you're on social media, make sure you comment where you're watching from, like the video. That gets it going in the algorithms. Obviously, if you're on the Angel app, you can also comment, but, ask your questions. We're going to answer any questions that people may have. But man, we're so excited. This is such a special film for Angel Studios because this film really was the kind of the turning point for Angel as a company. We had been obviously with Dry Bar Comedy and The Chosen and Teletwins and Freelancers and Wingfield and all these different TV shows, but we had never really jumped into the theatrical space other than a couple Fathom events that we had done for The Chosen, just kind of to celebrate that. But to actually do a movie in the theaters, that was a huge leap as a company. And so we wanted to spend some time talking about that story and how we got here. David, thank you so much for being here. Man, it's so good to see you. You look like you're in a much more warm location than I am.
Yeah. Well, you're wearing a t-shirt, but I'm wearing the sweatshirt, right? So but I'm outside. I'm in Southern California. I'm in sunny California. I'm in actually the Bay Area in California, Walnut Creek, where we lived for about a decade, and I'm actually back serving at my old home church. I'm at my former pastor's house right now for their big Easter production that used to be their big Christmas production that I really did a lot of my early short films as a part of, and they have me out here helping out for this. So it's really kind of a full circle moment because so much of what I did during that Christmas production ended up leading, was the stepping stones that led to His Only Son. And now there's actually a piece of His Only Son that's playing in this Christmas production. I get to be back out to help. This Easter
awesome.
Production. I get to be back out to help out, which is just it's a gift.
I love that. Today, you guys, make sure you comment and in the comments because we're going to actually have a giveaway today. So comment if you've seen His Only Son. Give us your thoughts on the film. And we're going to be giving away a signed copy of the DVD and Blu-ray from David Helling, signed by David Helling himself. And so this, guys, I know that, David's like, well, no one cares about my signature, but the reality is I know what you're thinking, David. I know you well enough. But the reality is this film is got a special place in Angel's history forever. Even though it's this small $250,000 film that looks obviously like a multi-million-dollar film because of what he put into it in terms of blood, sweat, and tears, but it's a film that I remember kind of jumping into the story of how we got connected. We obviously were trying to continue to grow Angel and grow what we're doing and continue to tell stories to amplify light. And I remember being introduced. I was it Jared that introduced us?
Well, it was Jared, because Jared had seen a trailer for His Only Son from some friends that are co-executive producers on the film.
Oh, the trailer that Jeff absolutely loved, right?
What did he not? Hold on a second. Yeah, for some reason I wanted to cut another one, but you know what? The trailer actually got His Only Son with Angel Studios and piqued y'all's interest. So hey,
I just remember Jeff being like, "Man, but so we watched the film, and I remember thinking, this. I didn't know what the budget was. I didn't know, who David was." But I was deeply moved on this meditative experience as you go and travel through Abraham's mind almost for 3 days as he's going to Mount Moriah. It's one of those unique experiences that as you watch it, this is something you're going to love every Easter, but any time. And I remember meeting with David over Zoom the first time, and I was like, I love the film, David. It's so good. But it has to pass the Angel Guild. And for those of you who know us, like, Angel Guild is the key ingredient of Angel's process. As founders and executives, we can't greenlight something without Angel Guild, voting on it first. David, what was your thoughts when you heard that? You're like, wait a minute, You can't just
Yeah.
like it. And then what were you thinking at that time?
Yeah, there's a little twinge of stress that kind of goes in the back of your, like, oh wow, Angel loves it, and they're talking about a theatrical an Easter theatrical of all things, which was an answer to prayer to me. But then for you guys to say, oh, it's got to pass this, like these 1,000 people that have to watch it, and say they'd be very disappointed if it didn't come to theaters or if it didn't come out with Angel, it was like it kind of puts a little bit of anxiety. But then you got to rest back and know that the Lord's gonna do what He wants to do with it. But also this was not only the first theatrical, but with the Guild, this was like one of the first. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this like the first finished product that you
That's
guys
right.
were picking up? And you were like, oh well, maybe you take a clip of His Only Son, and kind of put like a 10 to 20 minute clip and put it on the Guild. And I was like,
Yep.
hey, let's put the whole film
Let's
out there,
put the whole
because
kit
of the
and caboodle
nature.
in.
Yeah, the nature of what the film is, because it is meditative, and you have to really sit with it and go on the whole journey to get the full experience. And by God's grace, it ended up being one of the most successful films through the Guild.
Man, the
And we
Guild
got
loved
to do.
it.
Yeah.
The Guild absolutely loved it. It was clear that they wanted this to happen. But not only His Only Son is a series of firsts for Angel. Like there's all these things that we're always doing first, but like it was the first theatrical release. It was the first time that we had sent a whole film through the Guild. It was the first time that we did a P&A crowdfund for a film,
Yes.
where you guys actually were able to crowdfund $1.25 million from the crowd in a matter of like days. It was
No,
just
no,
like,
no. It was like 80 something hours. It was like,
it was like a
between
few
80 and
days.
90 hours.
It was
Yeah.
incredible. And the people just lined up because they're like, no, this has to get into theaters. And then it was a first theatrical release for Angel Studios. It was a first top 3 in the box office for Angel Studios. It was like it's just over and over and over again, and it really paved the way. I know a lot of people know Angel Studios now for obviously Dry Bar and The Chosen and Sound of Freedom, but His Only Son paved the way for Sound of Freedom to even exist. Like
Yeah.
it was that stepping stone that allowed us to, and for that matter, After Death and The Shift and Cabrini, they all followed the template that we built with His Only Son. Now, obviously, the Dry Bar helped with The Chosen, and The Chosen helped with His Only Son in its own ways, and they cut there's those building blocks. But this is a very special film. But if you're just joining us, this is a live stream for His Only Son. I'm joined with David Helling, the writer and director of His Only Son. We have comment in the comment section your experience with the film, if you've seen it, and we'll be selecting a random person out there that will be able to get signed copies of the Blu-ray and DVD. And I think and if you haven't seen the movie, on the back there was a review by an Angel Guild member, and I think the review really encapsulated what this experience is. And it says His Only Son is the chosen meets the passion. It has that element of both of those in a really unique way. And so, man, we're so excited. I mean, David, what was your thoughts on when we hit theaters, gets into top 3, and you're just like, what were you thinking at that moment?
Well, when that happened, so I was over there with you guys at Angel, because you guys had me held like for an
Yeah.
extra week to do all the PR and
We
the
held them
media
hostage.
press junk and stuff.
Just kidding.
And I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was in some ways, I feel like it still hasn't actually sunk in. It's very surreal, because not only to have been able to steward this account of Abraham's life, and to have it come out to really a scale that every filmmaker ever aspires to hit, to have it be in the top 3 of the United States box office, but then now also to have an opportunity to continue this through the next film over Jacob's life. It was just it was just very emotional, because I had spent so long working on this film, from the writing, the directing, the sewing, the costumes, the casting, the visual effects, all the model making, and really through the hardest years of my life, in these 5.5 years of my life that I worked on the film, His Only Son was almost like it was like a very dear friend. And then to have it go out there into the world, in a way, there's a lot of joy, because you can see the way the Lord's using it to touch all kinds of hearts around the world. But there's also the heartache of now I don't have this friend that I'm not going back to work with anymore, because it's out of my hands. It's done. But it's incredible to see just how far reaching it already is. I mean, it's still only its first year of it doing its traction. But the way that it's touched people around the world, I don't know if I told you this, but I was actually doing some work with some other ministry friends, Living Waters, and Ray Comfort's ministry. I was shooting some stuff with them over in October in the Pacific, and we landed in Tahiti, of all places, little island in the middle of the Pacific. And we get out of the van to like start shooting some content in around their market and stuff. And our French translators, this sweet little couple, come up to me and they're like, "You're the director of His Only Son." And I'm like, what in the world? Like to see it reaching that far out around the world is just incredible. It's just, you got to praise the Lord for that.
You do. I mean, and like, obviously, there's times throughout Angel's history where God does such big miracles that you're like, okay, he wanted me to know that this was him, Like, yes. Obviously he uses our gifts and our talents, but he gave us those gifts and those talents. So regardless of whether it was done through gifts and talents that he's given us or just flat out miracles that we just can't comprehend, it's still, we have to give thanks to him. We also need to give thanks to our incredible theater partners. Like, they came and supported a film that no one had heard of, a studio that had maybe been heard of, but not in the theatrical setting. That was a big gamble, and you had almost we had over 2,000 theaters, I think, through its run, which is a very wide release, which is incredible. And then on top of that, we've got to thank all the investors, the people who invested in the P&A campaign, who came out and got their 120% return. So obviously they had some financial benefit, but they also helped get this off the ground in a really, really powerful way. And we've got to thank the guild members who voted on it and said, yes, we want this to come out. And now you could, and also the people who paid it forward so other people could go see the movie for free. That was another first.
Yes.
We had never done pay it forward
That's
for theaters.
Right.
We had never done that. I mean, and that was kind of you remember how we last minute were like, hey, let's try to do this. We're like, if pay it forward works for here, why did it not work for here?
No, yeah. So I remember that because it was like, I don't know, it was like right, because I think I got the word from you guys about this thing that you guys had just kind of thought up, and you're like, hey, we're going to do this. I had to go out like in a field, like where I live in Texas, and I had to write the script, apply it to memory, and shoot it like in an afternoon, and then send it to you guys so that you guys can plug it into the DCP to send it out into theaters the next day. It was like that last minute.
And it was such a good call to action. There was literally hundreds of thousands of dollars and tens of thousands of tickets that were paid for by other people so people could come watch this film for free in theaters. And to me, that means a lot because I grew up, again, very poor in an Idaho farm town, and I only went to the theater less than 5 times all growing up, probably 1 or 2 times, to be honest. And I can't even imagine a world where someone would pay it forward so that someone like me as a child could go to the movie and experience something as incredible as His Only Son. And then obviously another first, it was one of our both Sound of Freedom and His Only Son were the first licensing deals, major licensing deals that we had done for films. We'd obviously licensed TV shows to Netflix and Amazon and Peacock and all those things, but we had never done a film. And so it was our first time licensing a film with His Only Son and Sound of Freedom. And His Only Son ended up hitting the top 10 on Amazon for like almost a month, which was another miracle. It was incredible. Which, getting in the top 10 of Amazon, that means that millions and millions of people saw that film. That's incredible.
Yes. And so it just the optics of what that actually looked like. Because I remember you and Jeff both had like texted me like within I think like an hour of each other, like a screenshot, like,
who texted
have you
first?
seen this? I think it was actually you. And so
I beat him.
and I remember like, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what did you guys do? This is like some like underhanded, like did you guys, is this like an advertisement kind of thing?
We photoshopped your thing inside the top 10.
And I was like, wait, and then you're like, no, this is all organic. This is because people are honestly discovering it and watching it. But to have it up there, because if you remember, it was like, here's His Only Son, $250,000 budget movie, next to The Flash, a $300 million movie.
Yeah, exactly. Multi-$100 million films surrounding it, and it passed The Flash for like a week.
Yeah,
like it was beating The Flash. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So that, man, there's so many huge things to be grateful for. We obviously have some huge announcements. So let's jump into some of those announcements. If you're just joining us, this is a live stream for His Only Son. Comment in the comment section, whether on Facebook, YouTube, you name it, that gets us popped up in the algorithms. Comment your experience with this film, and you enter a drawing to get a signed copy of the Blu-ray and DVD of His Only Son from David Helling himself. Again, such an incredible film, so much beautiful material here that you're going to be able to experience every single Easter with your family and renew that on a consistent basis. But we did. Everybody's here for announcements. We know that. We get it. And so let's jump into some of the announcements. The first announcement, drum roll, Angel, our model from the very beginning that really blew up for both Dry Bar and The Chosen was the free model. And it was the ability for anybody to watch our content and pay it forward so that others around the world could experience it. Because there's costs with streaming. There's costs with the managing the app and costs with managing the distribution of that. It's extremely expensive. But we felt strongly that if people loved our content and loved what the directors were putting out there, they would pay it forward at the end of that so others could see it. And it would spread. And so starting now, you can watch His Only Son completely free on the Angel Studios app and on angel.com. And I cannot tell you how happy I am for people to experience it for free.
Yep, praise the Lord.
Obviously, as a studio, we have the Angel Guild, which helps keep the lights on and helps fund future content and helps do what we're doing, which we're really grateful for all the guild members. But we're also grateful for all the people who just watch it for free and get to experience it. You talk, David.
I was letting you go, man. I love you. I love your tender heart always, man. For people to be able to now experience this for free because of so many that have already paid it forward. And for now, not only will people be able to watch it for free, but people can share it for free. And that's what it's all about, of getting it out to people. This falls in line with a heart cry that the Lord put so deeply on my heart when I was in Iraq all those years ago, of doing these biblical films that by His grace, people that don't read the Bible might see these films and be drawn to Scripture for themselves. And this was like Angel Studios didn't exist back then. But to have the Lord just make a way where there was no way over and over again. And now through all these series of firsts, and now the Lord stood up Angel Studios as this platform that then now can take the message of His only Son around the world, into people that have maybe never heard this message. I'm abundantly thankful, and I mean, it's really I'm really stupefied if that's even a word.
And it's another first. It's another first. It's the first theatrical release in history to go from theaters, to my knowledge, to and obviously it's been on Amazon, Angel Guild, but even into a free version at all. Most movies never go free at all. They either rented or bought until they go into public domain. So maybe that's a misstatement. There's probably some movie out there somewhere. But
think about
it's the first for Angel. It's the first for Angel, a theatrical release that came out in theaters and is now coming out free on the Angel app and angel.com. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you see, there's a lot of free content out there, but it's broken up with ads, So this is different. And it is a first of sorts. There's some way you can say that this is a first even in that. But yes, so thank you, man. Thank you, Jordan, and you and everyone at Angel, for actually for liking the film enough to even put it before the Angel Guild, and for reaching out and just this journey that has already come to pass, and this journey that I'm so thankful to be able to continue with Angel on and on and on, Lord willing, but if it weren't for the Guild voting on it, coming into theaters, and if it weren't for the Guild paying it forward, both in theaters and in the app, then none of this would be happening. Now, obviously, the Lord is sovereign over it all, but the Lord has stirred in the hearts of people to give towards paying it forward. And yeah, we are genuinely, as you can see from Jordan's tears, I love that, man. Obviously, you can see his genuine thanks, and that's what I always get, just the genuineness of my friend Jordan.
No, I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate
You
it.
you know, I'm genuinely abundantly thankful, more than I can express. That's why I just ramble on and on and on, because I want you to know that I'm thankful.
No, guys,
Yeah,
and for those who are just about to watch it for the first time, because we're gonna have a live stream party right now where you can watch His Only Son for free on theangel.com and on the Angel app. So if you're on YouTube and Facebook, get over to the Angel app, get over to angel.com, start watching this. It is an amazing film, but we also have some clips of people who want to express their thanks and understanding of what this film meant to them. So we're going to roll a couple clips from some of the talent who have been a part of this incredible journey. Let's roll the first clip.
Hey everybody, I'm Udon Moskowitz, and I played Isaac in His Only Son. I just wanted to come out here and really thank you guys for the amazing feedback, and it really, really makes me feel so special to see the impact of this film. If I had to pick one favorite part about the journey of, bringing this film to life, it has to be the connection and the love for the story, because each of the cast and crew, we all really, really connected, regardless of our backgrounds, regardless of our beliefs, regardless of anything, to bring forth this story that we all believed in. And so that has to be my favorite part. So again, thank you guys. This film wouldn't be possible without all the people who, paid it forward and brought this film to life. If you haven't watched the film, you can watch it on the Angel app or on the Angel website. So thank you guys very much, and I appreciate all of you.
He's so awesome.
Yeah, man. I love Adon. It's man, but for those of you that haven't seen him since seeing him in the film, look at that beard. My goodness, he's all grown up. Puts me to shame. If he grew it longer, I think he's got more facial coverage than I do. But Adon, it's so. One to now that I've known him since we shot the film for 5 years. So Adon, for those that don't know, Adon Moskowitz, he's actually a direct descendant of Isaac himself. And so, how many people can say? Well, I mean, I guess the Jewish people can all say that. But I mean, the fact that he got to play his great grandfather, and it's just to see him
awesome.
embrace the role, and to see him embrace the whole account, and to see the how his family enjoyed it, and how it touched his family, and I'm thankful for that guy very much.
I am so grateful for David and his team and for what they did in putting this film together. It's obviously touched the lives of millions now. It will touch the lives of millions more for I believe, years and decades to come. And it's such a special film. Obviously, you can get merchandise to support this film as well. Obviously, I'm wearing His Only Son shirt. David's got a beautiful, awesome sweater. Read your sweater off, David.
Yeah, he keeps his promises. Yeah, I love the message of that.
Not a more true statement.
Yes,
it's a true statement.
Fantastic reminder. I should actually get it printed backwards so that I can read it in the mirror when I look at it, so that it gets preached to myself.
Yeah, that doesn't sound self-centered at all, David. You gotta shine it out there.
No, that's not. No, that is not at all self-centered. Do you get what I'm saying?
You're like, I know exactly what you're saying. You're like, I need it. I need this more than anybody.
Yes, I need to be reminded.
Everybody else needs it as well.
Yes.
Well, again, now it's time to do a giveaway of a signed DVD of a random person who's commented. Again, you still have a chance. Comment right now, real quick, what your experience was. We're going to give away a DVD, a signed copy of the DVD and Blu-ray from David Helling himself. So we'll wait just a couple minutes here while we do that. But
wait, one more, Jordan, one more thing actually about this hoodie. So I've seen a number of people comment about the hoodie, because originally the picture on the website, it was because what you'll do is you do mock-up photos before you print the actual the hoodie, and for some reason the picture of the hoodie doesn't have pockets, and so people were like, does this not have pockets? So I wanted to let everyone know this does have
pockets.
A kangaroo pocket. So, just so we're clear. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna put the random winner up on the screen, who's gonna get a signed copy of His Only Son Blu-ray and DVD. Let's throw that name up on the screen. Boom. Congratulations. We are so excited that you get to experience this incredible film and that you get it signed by David. I mean, I don't even have a signed copy by David.
Wow, it's really rare. No, I hope that it's a blessing to you, and if you already have the copy of it, then you can give your copy away or give that to somebody else. But just also, what's so special to me about the Blu-ray and the DVD is that yes, it's got the film, and now you can see the film for free on the Angel app. Which is it's so awesome that the message of His only Son, it is not bound. It can go out as long as there's internet access
yes.
anywhere in the world. But
with Starlink, it's almost anywhere in the world.
Oh yeah, well that's technology I can't even comprehend. So, but with the DVD and Blu-ray, what you'll find on there is also, it says a message from me. From the creator of His only Son, and that's a sermon of sorts, where I actually walked through the account of Genesis 22, the account where we read about Abraham taking Isaac to be sacrificed, and I really get into how it ties to Christ and how it ties to what we're here celebrating during this Passion Week, during this Holy Week, as we look forward toward Easter. This sermon of sorts is it's perfect to just reflect on the truth of all that the Lord did in Abraham's life and how it pointed to Christ. And you'll find that on the DVD and Blu-ray in the special features. And so I'm especially touched that you guys were like, I was like, hey, can I put this on here? I gave this message to this church, and y'all were like, yeah, let's do it. And it's like, so even in that, that goes out around the world, and
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
thankful.
It. That's awesome. If you didn't win, for all those who didn't win, you can go to shop.angel.com, get your DVD, get your Blu-rays, get your merchandise. That supports the film. It also continues to support David and his efforts in creating more content like this. It's a really important. He's got more than one idea in his head. Trust me. There's a series of films that are coming down the pipe. But again, continue to support this incredible content. But we're going to close up this live stream. So if you're on YouTube and Facebook, you need to go to angel.com or the Angel app. Watch the rest of this on there. If you've got time, sit back, relax, get some popcorn, enjoy this Easter week while watching His Only Son, this incredible film. And we are going to close with actually another project. We wanted to quickly show you a trailer from our dear friend Alejandro Monteverde, who is another director and writer.
Yeah.
He's got a film in the theaters right now. David, why don't you tell him about that film that's in the theaters right now?
Yeah, so I got to hang out with you at the premiere in New York City, which was so great. And so that film is Cabrini. I'm sure everybody in the Angel audience is aware of it. Just absolutely gorgeous film, and actually Alejandro and I got to talk about that at a panel at South by Southwest, which was really cool. Just talking about the beauty of cinema and why he was wanting to make it, and how even it touched me, because there's I don't know if you know this, but after the premiere in Manhattan, and we had it, I think it was like right off Times Square. I went to the next day. I just saw it, and I was like, "Wow, this is absolutely gorgeous film." But then I went up to, they have her shrine up in the northern Manhattan, It's like off 190th Street. It's like you take the train up, it's like 30 minutes, but it's still on the island of Manhattan. And I went up there, and I got to read about it because I didn't know who Francis Cabrini was. I've got a lot of family, extended family, and family that's Catholic, and I was born and baptized Catholic, but I'm not currently Catholic anymore. So I wasn't aware of her. But after reading about her life, and then I went back and I took my parents to go see the film Thursday, the Thursday night it opened in theaters. And I texted you a picture. I was like, hey, out supporting the home team tonight, if you remember that. But I wanted, and to go into it knowing about her actual heart of, she set up these orphanages. I mean, you have, and you see this in Cabrini, where she started in New York City, and then it went out around into 6 continents around the world, orphanages and hospitals. And her whole motivation for doing that was evangelistic. It was for the sake of getting the gospel out there. And so this film, Cabrini, I mean, this is my heart behind it. I'm not speaking for Alejandro. You'll hear from him in just a second.
Absolutely.
Like after reading so much about her life and seeing the film again, man, I was like on the edge of my emotional seat from the get-go to see that this is the testimony of a woman who was willing to lay it all down to forego really any spouse, family, the riches and comforts of life for the sake of going to the furthest destitute child and bringing them in and shining the light of Christ to them. It was convicting to me because she's also, and I was saying this to Alejandro, we were on this panel, because I've heard him say it before, she's known as the forgotten saint.
Yeah.
And that is convicting to me because even though we do have our theological differences, what that convicts me about is, okay, she was willing to do that even if no one ever knew her name and no one ever knew that it was her who did it. Can I have that same conviction? Because when we go on these endeavors or anything, especially creatives, we can be so prone to stumbling into pride and to stumbling into vanity. And you have to constantly check yourself over and over again. But could I do that? Could I give up everything? Could I lay everything down, all comforts of life, for the sake of the gospel? And when I die, no one remembers my name. Can I do that? And so that was what touched me, is having that mindset going into see Cabrini, and on top of that, it's just beautiful to look at from start to finish. Yeah,
it's an incredibly well shot film and well told story. You can angel.com/Cabrini, get your tickets today. Obviously, we're so grateful for everybody for joining this live stream. We're going to close out with a special message from director Alejandro Monteverde from Cabrini.
I wanted more than to tell a story, is for the audience to experience her journey. To me, her life was a piece of art in itself. She believed that a life not lived for others was a wasted life. This woman had a fight against death itself. She has this desire to change the world.
Non basterebbe neanche tutta l'acqua del mondo per ripulirmi. Christ the Lord is risen today. Bisogna avere tanto coraggio per scoprire cosa siamo pronti ad essere.
If we are to build an empire of hope, my sisters, it seems we must first conquer New York.
Open your eyes. This is who we've come to serve.
This is America, where rats have it better than Italian children.
We are all human beings. We are all the same. Children of God.
You can do all things. All things in Him who strengthens us.
The film Cabrini is changing lives. Over and over again, people are walking into this movie and having a transformational experience. Today, right now, get your tickets to Cabrini.